All right. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Virtual Presentation Mastery. This is the class tonight where you're going to learn 8 different ways that you can, you're going to learn where to speak, but you're going to learn 8 different ways that you can speak in the virtual world better and more effectively and actually get business. So let's get started. All right, so most of you know me. Many of you have been my client for years and years and years, and I so appreciate you coming here today. One of the things with virtual speaking, I know with all this, COVID things and all this, the big C word now, we're all turning to the virtual world more than ever before. But I just want to let you know that I've been speaking in this virtual world since 2015. Yes, 2015, I got my first taste of Zoom when I spoke on a virtual stage that was for a digital type of seminar. So the technology world has been here a lot longer than most of us. And I fell in love with Zoom when I saw it. I was a little skeptical at first, thinking, who in the world is going to come and see this? But it wasn't long before a whole group of people came and I was sold. I fell in love. And I started using Zoom for webinars and meetings and coaching people all over the world ever since then. So I believe I could say I've mastered Zoom. I'm an expert in Zoom. And even though there's still always some technology glitches here and there, you're pretty safe to bet that I've been doing this for quite some time. So all I wanted to say is, welcome to my world, because I've been here for years waiting for you to join me. And now you're here, and now I'm going to share with you how you can be a great speaker in the virtual room, on the virtual stage. All right, so a little bit about me for those that don't know. I have given over 3,500 speeches all over the world. This is a cruise ship that I've been on speaking. I spoke 4 times in 11 days. It was a Mediterranean cruise, and I got to ride for free, bring a companion, and go on all the shore excursions. So if that's something you would like.
I'm going to go put it on my headset so no one else has to listen to it.
Okay, I was hoping I didn't have to do that, but I'm going to have to mute everyone. All right, so let me go to participants for just a moment. There we go. All right. All right, so I came out of corporate America, where I spent 23 years as a systems consultant setting up financial accounting systems for small to mid-sized businesses. I went to work at a college in this building here for a company by the name of Deloitte, Haskins and Sells back then, and now they're named Deloitte. Of course, it's one of the big 4 CPA firms of all times. So this is downtown Los Angeles. Later, we moved over to this building. That's where I've got my first lesson in public speaking, where I thought I could go out and speak and get clients. And it wasn't until a woman came up to me and said that I said okay after every sentence that I learned that I needed to respect public speaking, that just because I could talk did not make me a public speaker. So ever since then, I set out to master public speaking. And that, of course, has been probably a good close to 30 years. All right. So next is I've trained over 5,000 business owners, entrepreneurs, coaches, consultants. I've even trained pastors, priests, brigadier generals. The youngest person I've taught was 8 years old, and the oldest was 85. So, and I've trained 2 dogs in between there that have come to my classes. So it's a great variety, but mostly it's business owners. I've hosted over 700 live events, given 30 years in public speaking, and of course now I've hosted several virtual events, and I have over 17 years teaching others how to speak. I left corporate America 17 years ago, 17 years this November, and never looked back, and have been training ever since. So 17 years is a pretty good track record. All right, here's some of the people that I've shared the stage with. Maybe you know some of these people. If you know some of these people, put it in the chat box. Maybe you recognize Mark Victor Hansen, which is one of the big icons. He's retired now, but when I started, it was a cat's meow to be able to share a stage with him. Just recently, I shared the stage with this lady. This is Sharon Lecter. If you know her, she used to work with the money guy. Kinosaki. And of course, over here we have some young whippersnappers, but this is actually Tom Hopkins. Now, how many of you remember Tommy Hopkins, the big real estate guru? Well, he's still speaking. This was only a few years ago, speaking in Las Vegas. And of course, we have Laurel Langemeyer and some other great folks here. And of course, these two people, they spoke on one spoke on my stage. This is Dottie Walters, if you've heard of her. She wrote the book, Speak and Grow Rich. And this is Jay Conrad Livingston. He wrote the book Guerrilla Marketing, and I spoke with him in Dallas, Texas, and that was his last speech. He was going out of the room. He had a nurse taking care of him, and he started to hear me speak and asked to turn around, that he wanted to stay in the room and hear me speak. And he gave me a great testimony after that. And then they died, but that's just coincidence. It had nothing to do with me, honest. All right. So a little bit about my family. This is my husband. These are our two children. We got them when they were 8 weeks old. They are now 8 years old. Since that time, Zoe's taken over our couch totally. Zeus has taken over our bed. And well, since the pandemic, Zeus has got a drinking problem that we got to help him with. All right, enough about me. So my outcomes for you today are 3 outcomes. I want to share this powerful, actionable information. In other words, actionable information that you can take action on right now today and go and either speak or go get some of the resources that I'm going to share with you tonight. And I want to motivate you to speak out of the box when you're in the box. This is really challenging for some people to do, and a lot of people just aren't grasping it as a medium yet. And I want to encourage you to do so and give you some tips and tricks and techniques to help you, to encourage you to step in the virtual stage. And of course, I want to invite you to learn more about virtual speaking. So at the end of the call, I'm going to offer you an irresistible deal of some classes and how to work with me, should that be a fit and should you decide to do so. All right, so first of all, get out your pen and paper. Let's get ready to rock and roll and to write. Now, if you want to talk to me anytime during this presentation, of course, all you have to do, I can't see all of you because I've got the PowerPoint up and I can only see a few of you, but all you have to do is unmute yourself and speak up and I'll hear you. Or what I can do is also, I'm going to put up the chat. I got all of your names up in the right hand corner. You can do a raised hand there. I don't always see it because I have the chat up as well. So the chat, let me call up the chat. So I will be checking the chat periodically to see. Okay, great. All right, so I've got the chat up, got your part of your names up. So it should be enough to where I can see you or hear you if you have any questions. Again, this is a training class for you. That's what it is. I turned it into a meeting instead of a webinar so I could connect with you, each and every one of you. All right, so here's some ways that you can speak that you may not have thought about. Now, when I teach these live classes, I'm teaching you speak to your local chambers, networking groups, expos, all these kind of things. Well, now things have changed. So I'm teaching you places to speak virtually. And there's a lot more of them than you may realize. Now, in the old days, I'm going to talk about webinars. In the old days, all we did virtually was webinars. That's practically all we did. Yes, a few people like me were coaching and we did masterminds, but we didn't really do events. We didn't do 3 and 4 day events, and we are doing that now. So webinars, yes, we always used to do it, and I hope each and every one of you will do a webinar. Now, webinars, unlike meetings, are usually done where you don't see people, but you can do a webinar just like I'm doing tonight and actually do it in a meeting format. And I'll tell you the difference in Zoom between a webinar and a Zoom meeting. Now, all of you can see the participants right here. There's 24 participants. You can click on the participant button and you can see everyone that's here. When you do a Zoom webinar, only you, the host, can see the people and the number of people. And then nobody can see who's here unless they chatted in the chat box. So if you have a webinar and you're just starting out and maybe you only have 3 or 4 people, maybe you want to do it as a webinar and not a meeting, because maybe, you don't want everybody to know you only have 2 or 3 people, maybe you do. It's up to you. But that's the main difference. And then, of course, what I mentioned before is people can see you, but everybody can't see each other. And only you can see the names. You can bring people in a webinar. It's called making them a panelist. So you can bring them in individually. Now, if you only have 5 or 6 people, you can make everybody a panelist, and it can be similar to a meeting as well. But ideally, the difference is whether or not you want your audience to see who's in the room or not, whether or not they can see their faces, but just the number of people and who it is. All right, so that's the main difference. All right, what's in a live stream? Live stream is really big today. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're doing Facebook Live, put it in the chat room. If you're not doing Facebook Live, put that in the chat room. Because I'm telling you, if you're not doing it, you're missing out. And I'm telling you, if you're not doing it consistently, you're missing out. This is the video age we're living in. The video age. You are not going to be seen any other way unless you do video. So I'm just beginning next week. Great. Good for you. Good for you, Catherine. And Catherine's in my class. We're going to do a Facebook Live class this Saturday. So good for you. Good for you. But the key is to learn how to do it right. So many people come on, they're in their car. I want to say, ladies and gentlemen, what is up with a car? You don't do Facebook Live in your car. What is up with that? That's telling me that what you have to say, you don't want anybody to hear it. It's secret, right? No, I teach people the right way to do it so that you get clients and get business and gain visibility. Otherwise, why do it? If you don't want people to know you and get to know what you do, then why are you even doing that? Unless you're doing it for your friends. And then just put it on your friend's site, right? But so many people do it wrong. I teach people a system on how to do it right because it is speaking. YouTube, same thing. You could go live stream with YouTube, or you can load up your live stream to YouTube. And that's what I teach people. How to do that video. We don't do it for live. What's the difference? If you do it for Facebook Live itself, then you see all the people coming in and the hearts and all that great stuff. Well, guess what? You can't repurpose that to LinkedIn, to YouTube, none of that. Right? It's only good for that little moment. Well, I say, let's do it once. Let's do it once as perfectly as we can, and let's reuse it and repurpose it to everything. So if you're like that, you want to do it once and repurpose, or do it once and get paid, then I'll show you the right way to do that. All right, of course, Zoom meetings, we can speak. Almost every networking meeting has gone to Zoom now. Almost every networking meeting. I'm a leader of a networking meeting called Christian Business Partners, and we've been around for a very long time. We have over 33 chapters in California, and all of us are going on Zoom, and we have chapters in Pennsylvania, and we have big mixers now where we have hundreds of people, and we get to know people across the line. I mean, it is hot. This has opened so many doors for so many people that couldn't drive across town and go to so many different meetings. Now you can go to a meeting every single day if you wanted to, several times a day. Online networking, I just mentioned that. Mastermind meetings, I hold my mastermind meetings in a Zoom format. Now, we have calls every other week, and we always did it on Zoom before all this happened, but I also did 1 to 2 days live in my home, where we can just, pull, pull up the drapes or pull up down the curtains, whatever you want to call it, and really roll up our sleeves and get to work and get to work on their business and how to use speaking at the center of their business. And guess what? We can't do that now. So I've already had 2 of those meetings in Zoom. And you know what? We got just as much accomplished. We felt just as connected. The only thing we couldn't physically do together was hug and eat together, which I usually provide lunch. So those are the only differences, but we still were able to get a lot done and support each other. All right, so interviews is big. Interviews, podcasts, and radio, and of course, virtual seminars. And my next virtual seminar is the $1 Million Speaker Summit, which is September 23rd, 24th, and 25th. I'll let you know a little bit later how you can take advantage of that. But here's what I wanted to say about virtual seminars. There's one gal, and I met her in a virtual seminar. I've been on 4 different virtual seminars because I'm checking it out for my own. And this woman, she signed up for my $1 Million, and she was from the Netherlands. And I reached out to her, and we had a Zoom meeting because I wanted to meet her. I didn't have anybody on my list from the Netherlands. And she told me that she had a disease and she couldn't sit up. It was some sort of spinal disease that degenerated over time, and now she cannot sit up. She lays in bed all day long and works on her computer, but she can't ever go to a live event because she never can sit there. So she said this pandemic has been a blessing to her and her business, that she can go to these seminars and learn, and it's just been a blessing. And she will be there at the $1 Million Speaker Summit, and I'm going to actually have her on the hot seat, and you'll learn her story. You'll hear her story. So it's just, you know, a lot of time when we think the world is turning upside down, there's just this wonderful light that we see and that we're so grateful for. So it doesn't seem so bad. And that's one story. And then, of course, online. If you have online training where you can create it, put it online, have people buy it and go to it, and you don't have to be there. It's been around, but it's increasing now. Do you know that Zoom has increased over the last 4 months 67%? 67% the people joined Zoom just in the last 4 months. It's pretty incredible. All right, so those are some places to speak. Now I want to teach you how to become that powerful virtual speaker. Now, I hope you can hear my dogs. I did let them stay with me. Normally, I would put them away if I was in somebody else's room. But since I'm in my own room, whenever you're in your own room, you can do whatever you want. But so I want them to be free. I don't know about you, but I am a dog lover. So you saw their pictures, and so they're barking a little bit. Usually they're pretty good. All right, so number 1, let's get into this. Number 1, step on the right stage. Step on the stage at the right time. This is something that people do not do when they're in this Zoom world. And if you're going to be a speaker, you want to almost demand that this happens, that you can show up at the right time. Let me give you an example. You can step on 2 different ways. One, you can ask to be put in the Zoom waiting room. I'm thinking, my head's going faster than my lips. You can be asked to be in the waiting room. So if you're not sure what a waiting room is, Zoom has a feature to put people in a waiting room and then invite them in at the appropriate time. Now, another way, of course, is the video off. Now, what is the difference? All right, let me give you an example. Yesterday, I invited one of my clients who's a very famous singer. It's Florence LaRue. She's the lead singer and owner now of the Fifth Dimension. If you were around in the 60s and 70s, you know who that is. If you're a young millennial, you may not, but go on YouTube and check out the Fifth Dimension. So she was my guest speaker. She's my client. I'm teaching her how to speak. She's just getting a book published, Grace in the Second Act, and she wants to learn how to sell her book from the platform. And of course, everybody knows her as a singer. So I didn't want to spoil the surprise. So I had her change her profile name to celebrity speaker, and I had her come in with the video off. Now, why did I do that? Because I wanted her to be part of the meeting, because the meeting was going to be 30 minutes before she ever was going to come in. So I didn't want her waiting all by herself in the waiting room going, do, 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 do. Are they there? Are they there? Are they there? It's really weird waiting in that waiting room. So we did it that way. So you might want to do that as well if you don't want to spoil the surprise and have people see who you are or see that you're there. If you're going to do a podcast, I recommend you use the waiting room, because if you're doing an interview, the screens are side by side and you're just sitting there while the promoter or the host is introducing you or talking about the podcast. You're sitting there going, do, 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 feeling awkward. Why? You don't have to feel awkward. Just ask to be put in the waiting room, and because you don't need to hear all that. You don't need to hear your intro. And then when it comes time and they say, welcome, our guest, Andy Craig, boom, you're there. So it works really great. So how many of you think that's a great tip? Put in the chat box that that's a great tip and that you'll use it. All right, good tip. Okay. Okay, I have a quick question from Lawana here. Okay, good. Yes, great tip. Thank you. So Lawana's saying, do you do on your personal for everyone to see, or do you create a group or fan page? Okay. I would recommend, if you're new at doing Facebook Live, that you do it either in a special group. You can do it for your eyes only, a special group, or your own fan page. And if you like it, then you can share it out to everybody. So I don't recommend doing it on your timeline. Not at all. Not in the beginning, not until you become a pro. All right, next, great question. Great question. Number 2, step into the spotlight. Step into the spotlight. There's 2 ways to do that. Number 1, there's speaker view. Now, all of us know about speaker view. It's going to be gone when you share a screen, so you're not going to see it right now, but it's in the upper right-hand corner. It simply says speaker view. That means whoever is making noise, you will see. And in a little bit, we'll demonstrate that. So whoever is making noise, whether they type, move their computer, you're going to see them bigger than life. And like I say, in 1 second, when I'm done with this slide, we're going to demonstrate that. Number 2 is spotlight video. This is the one that I recommend that you use. Spotlight video, you ask the host. See, if you're a guest in somebody's meeting, you're not going to have these kind of controls. So you're going to have to ask for spotlight video. All right, and I'm going to show you. So I'm going to stop screen. This is how important this is. I'm going to stop the screen, right? All right, so now I am going to spotlight Andy, right? Now watch what happens when I spotlight Andy. All right, whether Andy's talking or not, we see Andy, right? So hi, Andy, we see you. You see yourself, right?
Hi, Arvee.
You see yourself really big, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Now, here's the thing. You all still have control, right? So guess what you can do? Even though I spotlighted Andy, you can all go in the right-hand corner, and where all those boxes are, that's gallery view, you can click on it and say, I don't want to see the spotlight. So everybody click on that, and even though he's spotlighted, he still has the square around him. You're all in gallery, right? You always have control over your video, over your audio in Zoom, no matter what the host does. Now, I'm going to take him off of Spotlight. All right, hold on. Let me cancel Spotlight. So I canceled him. Now, everybody go up to the right-hand corner and put Speaker View on. All right, now, okay, we still see Andy. Do we still see Andy? I see Andy. Okay, let me see.
See you.
You see me? Okay, good. That's how it should be because I'm talking. All right, so hey Lisa, welcome. So I'm going to ask Yvonne to speak. Hi Yvonne, how are you? So Yvonne, let's all go to speaker view, and now Yvonne, you unmute and speak.
Hi everybody.
Yay, there you are. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
All right. So now let's go to Alice. And Alice, you unmute and start speaking. The unmute is in your square above, or you can always hit space bar to unmute yourself. Okay, well, there we go. We see, I've seen Raja. I'm going to blow it.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Good to see you.
Hi,
Okay,
thank you.
key is whoever talking will see, but it also works when whoever is making noise. So Alice, make some noise.
Hi Arvee. Hi, everyone.
All right. So that's the problem with speaker view. If you're the speaker, there could be somebody that's not on mute. All right, so everybody go back to gallery view. Hey, Angela, how are you? Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you, Lisa. All right, so now we're going to go back to share the screen in PowerPoint. All right, so those are the difference. So step on stage, again, it's either asking for speaker view or I recommend spotlight, but your host has to put you in the spotlight. All right, number 3, if you're speaking, and I recommend this even if you're not speaking, if you're even attending a meeting, your background screams volumes about who you are and what you believe in. I just want you to keep that in mind, no judgment. So if you were to look at my background, it speaks volumes. I've got branding, I've got candles lit, I've got words like believe, dream, I've got a cross, I've got a dog. It says volumes about me and who I am. Everything's all nice and neat in its place. I'm a neatnik. So I don't care if you're a neatnik or not. All I'm saying is it speaks volumes. So look at your background through the Zoom lens and just ask yourself, is this a good representation of me as a speaker, of a leader, of a guest, whatever it is? And if it's not, then fix it, change it. Now, I'm going to talk about virtual backgrounds because I know all of you are like, well, what about virtual? Let me just share a little bit about virtual backgrounds. They look great. You can use logos, homes, offices. If you are going to use them and speak, I recommend that you use them with a green screen. Why is that? Let me show you. Let me show you. And some of you have experienced this. So if I use my virtual background, and I could use any of them, but of course the one I'm going to use, let me get down here. Where's my virtual? Oh, here it is. Sorry, I don't have my glasses on. Okay, so if I use my virtual background, everybody see that? If I use a virtual background and I'm going to use my hands, they can disappear. This one's pretty good, actually. But see how they would disappear? If I'm going to show you a copy of something, I'm just going to hold up something, it disappears, right? That's not good if you're speaking in the virtual world. So be careful of that. All right. So do I get a yay for my pups there? Yay. Let me go back to my regular. None. Okay. So just make sure that if you do use a virtual, I recommend a green screen. There's really inexpensive ones on Amazon. There's one that fits on your chair. There's one that go across. There's pop-ups. There's all kinds of different ones. All right. Excellent. Let's share again. All right, so that's a little what I have to say about virtual backgrounds. They do speak volumes for you as well. So create the proper lighting. This is important as a speaker. You need to be well lit. There's some of you that are a little bit in the dark, right? Now, Lawan is well lit, very, very well done. Keith is pretty well lit. You got some side light, so you have a little bit of shadow on you. But look at yourself now. Marceline, you're in the dark. You have a beautiful background, but we can't see your face. And if we can't see your face, a lot of people read lips while you're speaking, but if we can't see your face and your expressions, how are we going to connect with you? And how are we going to build rapport with you as a speaker? So make sure you get lighting. The best lighting is natural lighting, but there's all kinds of different size ring lights. There's big ones, all kinds of different ring lights that are available. All of this is on Amazon. Now, I personally don't recommend the ring light. The reason is what I've discovered is when you have a ring light and you wear glasses, you can see the ring in each one. And this one recently I saw, it was exactly in the middle of her glasses. So it looked like her eyes, and it was really creepy. Again, if you're guesting, that's okay. But if you're the speaker and eyes are on you, it might not be what you want to portray. So be careful. What I have in front of me is 2 box lights. They're called Steel Shot. Steel, STIAL Shot. I got them on eBay years ago for photography and for filming, of course, before any of the Zoom came out. So I've had them for years. I got them for like $110, and they have been with me, like I said, for years and years, and have earned every bit of that money and more. So invest in some proper lighting. Examples of poor lighting, we've all seen this a little bit on Zoom. This backlighting is really bad. This is probably exaggeration, but if we can't see your eyes, your face, your mouth moving, we're just going to disengage and not listen, because we need to see more than just hear your speech. And this is poor lighting as well. Again, the more trustworthy, likable you're going to be, the more, trust and likable people will be for you. So just be right out there and be likable. As a speaker, our voice is all we have right now these days, so it's important to invest in a microphone. These are what I've used, the blue ball, snowball, and the blue Yeti. This is the Nano Yeti. Now, that one wasn't big enough for me as I got my stand-up desk, and I decided I needed a bigger one. So I got one of these big Yetis. It's an adult Yeti, and I found a red one. So I got a red one. And again, not that expensive, only about $150 on Amazon. So invest in a microphone as a speaker. Yes, the blue Yeti rocks. Awesome. Good, Andy. I'm glad you've got one. But do you have a red one? All right. What color is your Yeti? All right. Number 6. And this is my favorite piece of being in the virtual world and speaking in the virtual world. It used to be that I taught all my clients, when you have a 30-minute speech or less, you do not use PowerPoint. You do not use video. You do not use anything technical. Why? Because you're going to a location where you may not have any control over any of it. In other words, if you're speaking at a Denny's restaurant, or you're speaking at somebody's office, conference room, you may not have any of that stuff available. And for 30 minutes, do you really want to schlep all that equipment with a screen and get there early and have to sweat? No, of course not. Plus, every time you're looking at your PowerPoint, people are going to disconnect from your audience. So as you look at your PowerPoint, boop, disconnect, boop, disconnect. Now, if you have an hour, 45 minutes, there's plenty of time to reconnect. But in 30 minutes, there isn't. Now, I changed it. Whoop, this is a new trend. In this environment, even if you have a 10-minute speech, it's cool to use a PowerPoint and to use video. Why? Because our attention spans in this kind of environment get shorter. And because we can only see half of you and not 100% of you, we need a little bit more stimuli. So now you can use it. So I'm going to demonstrate and use a couple of videos. Now, when you use your Yeti, you won't be able to hear it. So I'm just going to unhook the Yeti and so I can hear it, and then hook it back up again. All right, so I'm just using my microphone. Now you can see the difference. How many of you can see the difference, hear the difference between microphones now that I'm not using my cool microphone? Can you hear the difference? Kind of crummy, right? Right, let me stop share. Let me How many can hear that? I'm only, right? Kind of crummy. You see the difference why you want to invest. All right, excellent. Okay, so I am going to share again and then show you a couple of videos and the power of these videos. Hang on.
What I have learned from this $1 Million Speaker Summit is really the reason why I should be speaking, that your message matters, that your voice matters, and that what you have is unique to offer to the world. And I love Arvee's heart. I love her desire to leave a legacy and to raise up people who are going to make a difference in the world with their message.
Learn how to sell from the platform. It doesn't do you any good to have a big ticket item if you don't know how to sell it. So you must learn, you must get mentors and learn how to sell that big ticket item.
She delivers so much concise information. She has systems that she's sharing with us that allow us to use our speaking business to expand coaching and whatever else we're doing. It gives me a new perspective on speaking because now it's a vehicle to advertise other things. As a coach, as an author, I've needed something that will allow me to move to the next step in my life as a business owner.
All right, so you can take video now and put it in here. So how many of you love that example, right? That's the power, and that's the excitement of coming to the $1 Million Speaker Summit. Excellent. All right, good. Okay, here's another video that I want.
What I have learned from this.
Sorry. Whoop. All right. All right. So I don't know how many of you have seen presentations start with a video. I'm sure many of you have, but this is what's called an intro video that you put in the front of your presentation to get people excited. So imagine you're in the waiting room, just like you would be in the back of the room. Somebody introduces you, and then they say, but let's watch first. Ah, sorry. That's my next one. Okay.
She's a master speaker, trainer, international speaker, and author.
She's a pro. She knows how to articulate what a speaker needs.
Hi, I'm Arvee Robinson. I'm the master speaker trainer, international speaker, and author. You're here because you want to become a more powerful speaker and you want to get business. This is something that every business owner can do. You don't know what to say, how to say it, where to go to say it. How cool is that? That's cool. Easy, it's fun, and you can make a lot of money doing it.
Can't hear you, Arvee.
Oh, sorry, now you can. So that's the power of an intro video. Now that intro video, I don't use anymore. You could see it was way back in the day. You see, I came out of corporate America. I'm wearing suits on stage. Now you see the $1 million. I'm wearing sparkly outfits. So I've changed quite a bit. But again, I haven't created a new one of those yet. But again, it's worth it for you to create that intro video. But here's the power. The real power. When you do a presentation, most of the time you're just telling people about a testimonial. Look at the power of this testimony.
Hi, my name is Gail Gajardo, and I took Arvee's class, and oh my gosh, my life has been transformed. Using the simple math equation that she shows us on how many presentations to do per week and translate it to how many clients and leads that it generates and how much each client is worth, I am now making $60,000 a month. And I'm going to continue to be her student, and I'm so excited, and I just want to let you guys know this really works. Thank you.
All right, so give me a wow.
Hi, my name is...
Give me a wow, right? The power of that testimony. Now, she came to $1 Million, not last time, a year ago, and gave that testimony on stage. But now I have it to use forever in this environment. Yeah, wow, I know. I know. All right, I just saw her the other day. She's still doing great. All right, so number 7, we're almost done. So hang in with me for at least 15, maybe 20 more minutes. Everybody in? Is this good stuff? Say, this is good stuff and I'm staying. This is good stuff and I'm staying. Thank you, Catherine. Thank you. Right? Yeah, I'm hooked. I love it. Thank you, Keith. And I see, Keith, you said you had Wi-Fi problems when you play video. Boy, I wish there was some magic. I use Frontier. I know some people that use Spectrum have those problems. So I don't know if you can get a different provider or if you're out in the country or what, but I would look into something else. But I've never had any problems with Frontier Fios with any of that. Okay, good stuff. I'm staying. Thank you, Lisa. Awesome. All right. Involve your audience. Involve your audience. Now, it's a little trickier in this environment because we can see everybody in a live environment. We can see everything. We can see if someone's on their phone. We can see if they're yawning. We can see if they're talking to their neighbor. We can't in this environment. We don't know if you're multitasking. I hope you're not, because multitasking isn't good for anybody. But so what we do is try to engage people in the chat box. There's going to be some people that no matter what you do, they're not going to. They're just, maybe they're challenged that way and they just can't get their arms around it, or they don't know how to get to the chat box. How to get to the chat box, you click on participants and then either look for the chat, or in my case, it's under the 3 dots under more. So look for that chat and go there. Use reactions. Reactions are what we saw earlier. I'm going to ask everybody to quickly do a reaction. So go down and do a reaction, right? Thumbs up. Okay, good. Okay, good. So by the looks of you, the ones that are doing it, thank you. So many yellow hands. All right, the yellow hands, there's a way to get your own skin color. I teach that in my Zoom Mastery Master class. Catherine just went through it. So Catherine's got her own flesh tone because she's just gone through it. Now, where is everybody and why has everybody got their videos off, right? What are you doing? Are you multitasking? Don't multitask. There we go, Dale. All right. Lee, come on. Be with me. Be with me. Come on back. Come on back. I might just call on you. Somebody that's like Janine, who's always got her video off. All right. She's one of my clients. I always tease her every time I see her. One of these days, she'll turn it on. All right. Let's go back to share screen. All right. Use reactions. Raise hand physically, like we've been doing. That really gets people's attention more than just the raised hand, the blue raised hand in the participants area. Nonverbal icons, those are the icons that if you click on participants, then you'll see all of those strange looking things like yes, no, go slower, go faster, more. And the more has a little coffee cup and an up and down arrow and clapping hands, but those are a little harder to see. Everybody has to have, their participants up, and the host has to have them up. So, but that's just another way. In bigger meetings, some of these make more sense. Yep. Nonverbal or verbal involvement, just taking yourself off a mute and talking. It's a great way. Breakout rooms. We've all seen breakout rooms. We've probably all been in a lot of breakout rooms. But let me tell you, if you're the host and you're going to do a breakout room, it's really important for you to give clear instruction, Pick somebody as a timer, pick somebody as a facilitator. Tell the group what you're going to do, what questions they should ask, and then tell them, pick the person with the longest hair as the facilitator, because otherwise precious time is spent on going, who wants to lead? What are we supposed to do? Blah, 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 and it's just wasted time. So be very, very clear and give them really clear instructions. You're not being a mama, you're not being a daddy, you're being a facilitator, giving clear instructions ahead of time and making sure it's clear. They have to also know how much time is being spent overall and how much time each individual gets. And then you, again, is everybody clear? Yes, crystal clear. Otherwise, when that doesn't happen, and I know it's happened to you, it's happened to me, it's a waste of time. I'm like, man, I wish I could leave this room, but it's obvious that I can't. So just make sure it's clear. Then it can be a lot of fun and people can know what they're supposed to do, and there's plenty of time. Most of the time when it's not clear, people run out of time, and oftentimes the host doesn't give enough time. That's another problem. But when it's all orchestrated right and thought about ahead of time, it really can work. Whiteboards, we've all seen whiteboards. I'm going to stop my share. When you do a whiteboard, you have to do it right when you do the share. So I'm going to do a whiteboard and whiteboards where you can draw or you can text or you can do all kinds of, crazy stuff and do some sort of a text. That's a text, but you know what I'm saying. I don't use whiteboards. I don't like them. I'm going to show you something in a minute that I use that I guarantee you will love, and it'll be a great gift. All right. So I'm going to go back to my screen. All right. So whiteboards. Quizzes. Now, this is something that I've implemented that I haven't seen anybody else implement, and I just love this, and so you can borrow this from me, and that is create a quiz. This is just a PowerPoint slide I created. So this is my quiz to you. You should always write out your speech, true, false, or true only for online presentation. So in the chat box, go ahead and put in your answer. Put in your answer in the chat box. All right, we have A. We have A. What else? We have F for false, okay. We've got C. We've got B. We've got A. We're all over the board a little bit here. Good. Keep going. Who else? Some of my students know the answer, right? Right? Okay. All right. Good. Good. All right, so the answer is, if you answered A, you're wrong. If you answered B, you're right. False. Never become a prisoner of your own words. Whether you're online or offline, if you write out your speech word for word, you're going to read it. You're going to want to read it, even if it's a teleprompter. We can see your eyes moving. So don't do that. But what you want to do is this. You want to rehearse 1 hour for every 2 minutes of your speech. You want to outline it and just talk about what you know. And you don't need to write it out word for word, but you want to practice so much that you become that script. So if anything happens in the presentation, whether it's technical or otherwise, you're not thrown off. You can just go, oh, okay. Or if somehow a story came to you that you feel like someone in the audience needs to hear that you didn't plan on sharing, you'll be free to do that. So the more you rehearse, the more freedom you have, and you'll never have to be a prisoner to your own words ever again. How cool is that? Say, that's cool. Awesome. All right, this is the last one. Bring your A game on. You want to bring twice your A game that you normally would bring. And that means high energy. If, a lot of times when we're sitting, we have low energy. But whether you're sitting or standing, you want to just really bring it on. Whether you've got to work out, run around the block before you do it, whatever it is, if you think you're speaking over the top or too loud, you're not loud enough. You have got to bring it on 110% in this environment, because you're only being exposed to 50% right here. So you have to make up for the other 50% in your energy, in your voice, in your volume, in your activities, in your even hand gestures. But you have to be very careful with hand gestures. I hope you notice, I keep mine here. You don't ever want to put them here. That looks awful, right? It's awful to see. Or when people grab their phone in between, no. Very bad form. It looks awful. It doesn't make you look good or professional. So keep your hand gestures more to the side. That's why you can't use virtual backgrounds without a green screen, because they'll disappear. Stand and deliver. It's my recommendation. That's what I do when I'm speaking. I bought this nice little desk. It's called Stand Steady. It's wood. I don't recommend this one because it's very heavy and I have to pull it up. So there's, if I did it again, I would look for something that was automatic that would come up, or something that was a little bit lighter steel than this big hunk of wood. But it is beautiful. I'll tell you that. Anyway, invest in a desk or something that you can put on a table that you can stand up, so you can move around a little bit. You can move back a little bit. I can move back just a little bit, and it won't interfere too much with the sound. Look into the camera when you talk, not at your screen, not at the people if you're doing a meeting without PowerPoint. Doesn't mean you can't look at your screen once in a while, but you've got to, the majority of the time, just look into that camera. And then everybody in that meeting will know that you're looking right at them. And then find new tools. Is it okay? Do I have your permission to show you a brand new tool that I'm using? Put in the chat box, yes, 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 yes. All right, all right, because you will love it. You will love this, love this, love this. All right, so this is, I'm going to turn it on for you. I'm going to stop my screen because you can't use it when the screen is there. So I am going to turn it on. All right, can everyone see that? Can everyone see that?
No, we're still in gallery view.
Okay. Okay, sorry. Sorry, okay. I'm gonna share my screen. Can everybody see that? Right next to my microphone?
Yes.
All right, so look at this new little tool. So this takes place of a whiteboard. If you were going, you know, the big easel whiteboards, because we can't do it in here. And remember I said the whiteboard, I can't write on that thing. It looks like kindergarten or less, right? So what I got is this, look at this. And so what I'm gonna do now, mind you, I have not been able to get myself to a nail place. So don't look at my nails during this. It's been awful. They're closed, you know. My hairdresser, she works out of her home, so I've been able to see her, but I haven't been able to go to the nail salon. All right, so I'm going to teach you something for networking. This is just a little bonus. Now, when you network with someone and you do one of those one-on-ones, or you can also use this if you are looking for a new coaching client, and that is what I call FANS. F-A-N-S. And for those of you that know me and have worked with me know that I love acronyms, and I use acronyms if ever I can, because it's a great learning tool and it's a great speaking tool, because you can always remember without those notes what the letters mean. So here you are doing a one-on-one with someone, whether it's a potential client, coach, or just a one-on-one to get to know somebody's business. So we all want raving fans, do we not? Say yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
All right, so first of all, you want to talk about family. Get to know what kind of family they have. Tell me a little bit about your family. Well, I have 2 children. Their names Zeus and Zoe. How old are they? 8 years old, and they're boxers. So a little bit about my family. Then the next one is ask them about their accomplishments. Accomplishments, right? What are they most proud of? People love that. People love that. And one of the things I'm most proud of is finishing my book, Speak Up, Get Clients. It is on Amazon. And it took me 9 years to finish that book. Why? Because I'm a speaker, not a writer. And I actually had to get a coach to teach how to write. So I'm very proud of getting that book out after so many years. Now, the N is for networks. Ask them, what other networks do they belong to? What other networks do they belong to? Because maybe it's a networking group that would fit for you. I have several networking groups I belong to. I've got women's group, a women leadership group called Connected Women of Influence that meets monthly and some virtual events. I'm president of the Upland Christian Business Partners Group, and some of you have attended that. And just, other networking groups, RBN, which is relational, relational business networking, something like that. But just get to busy and ask him about other networks. Then at the very end, then the S is for services. This is where you ask them about, if you want to, about their products and services. So now what have you done? You've built rapport with them. You've built trust with them. You let them light up their life because people are so proud of something and they're used to like coming into these one-on-one meetings thinking you're going to try to sell them your stuff. So again, family, accomplishments, that lights them up. What other networks do they belong to? And then what are the services that you provide? So now, do you see how this little machine, it's called a document camera, can work? You can do all kinds of things to it. You can draw pictures if you want. So whatever it is, it's whatever you would write on the whiteboard. Amen. Oh, and you could do fun things like arrows and all kinds of things. You can do texting and you can do circles and all kinds of fun things with this machine. So we're going to end this machine right now. Hold on. Let me get rid of it. Now I'm back to my screen. Everybody see that? Yes? All right.
Yes.
So this is what it looks like. It's called InSwan, INSWAN. I just love it. I don't get any points for recommending it. Just go to Amazon, and there's several different kinds. But you want to find new tools, whether it's this one or something else that you can use to teach and speak in this environment, without the tools that we used to have. Because if you disconnected and went to a whiteboard, now you could do whiteboards with a lapel microphone. You could do that. I have a lapel that works off of my phone, but not off of, my computer in this environment. All right, the last thing here before we finish up today is latest trends. Now, the latest trend that I'm seeing is short amount of time for speaking in this environment. You're probably not going to have 30 minutes. It's more like 10 or 15. Embrace it. And that means that you have to learn to be more concise with your message and with your PowerPoint. And you've got to practice so it's 15 minutes, or you could very well be cut off. All right. So I've came in my time today, which was an hour. But if some of you want to know how you could go and do the next step with me and work with me, then I invite you to stay. So if you're ready to, this is only going to take 3 minutes more. So if you're ready to step in the virtual spotlight, I want all of you that are ready to step in the virtual spotlight to just give me a heck yeah in the chat box.
Yeah.
Got to be a heck yeah, right? You're enthusiastic. All right, so just a quick heck yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, good, Yvonne, awesome. Okay, yes is good too, Alice. Heck yeah, excellent. All right, then I'm going to just spend about 3 minutes sharing with you what I've got for you today. And if it's a fit, great. I'd love to have you join me. If it's not, that's cool too. It's all good. It's all good. All right. So it's the Advanced Virtual Presentation Mastery, and it's a series of classes because we need more than just the speaking now. We need the platform. We need the tools. We need a lot more to really be successful in this environment. So again, it's a series of classes. It's over 8 hours worth of classes. It's $9.97. And here's what you're going to learn. You're going to learn how to create that effective virtual presentation that closes. Closing is another trend, is totally different in this world. Totally different than on stage. Whatever you learned before, you're going to rework it. You're going to pivot it. Deliver on how to deliver that powerful presentation from A to Z, how to put on your own profitable virtual events, webinars, and etc. What I'm hidden here. Hold on a second. I just hit something. All right. Create your own Facebook Live using my secret formula. A secret formula where you can repurpose that live and put it on YouTube, put it on LinkedIn, put it on Twitter, put it on whatever platform you want to put it on. Vimeo is another one. And then use the latest speaking trends and not be left behind. You need to learn how to do that. Okay, we lost one person, but that's okay. Choose close multiple ways that work on and off virtual stages, because I teach people 6 different ways. Advanced virtual mastery. So here's what you get. Here's the classes. All right, these are hands-on. These are more hands-on than what we've done here. So I have to limit the number of people that are in these classes. A few of you, like Catherine, are already in these classes. She's already started it. But how to build a $1 million speaker business virtually. Facebook Live Mastery Masterclass. This is where we actually do a Facebook Live on your phone while you're in the class. We put it in a special Facebook group and you get coaching from me, personal coaching from me. Plus you learn the formula that you can use for the rest of your life. Then the Zoom Mastery class. Now I know all of you have looked and you've used Zoom for a while, but I'm telling you, there are things you don't know about Zoom that I know, and we're going to go through the back end. I'm going to do it with you. You're going to be in your back end. I'm going to show you in my back end. I'm going to tell you what everything means and what it does, what you should have turned on, what you should have turned off, and then how you can get your thumb reactions to be color, how the video works, how the audio works, how all of that works, the rooms, everything. So you can run an effective meeting, and you also know what to ask for when you are a guest in somebody else's room. Virtual event creation, really important. If you want to create an event, whether it's a 1 hour, 1 day, or 3 day, I'm going to help you to do that. I'm going to give you, again, the system and the formula to do that. And then you're going to get 4 hours. Now that's 3 classes there of 2.5 hours, and one of them's 3 hours. So you're going to get 8 hours of training, and then video training. I'm going to give all of you these because you need them. You need this backbone. So how to be and look your best in the virtual world. This is virtual etiquette. The virtual close, how to get people to take action. How to become a virtual interviewer or interviewee so you can do those podcasts, and then how to fire up your virtual speaking calendar. They're each 1 hour. You're going to have those for your own self-study. All right. So today's investment, because of COVID, of course, I'm giving you a discount of $700. Now, I just want to let you know, for those of you that work with me know, those of you that don't, I'm $300 an hour. All right, if you were to come to work with me. So these are real dollars that I'm sharing with you, and this is a real discount that I'm giving you. It's not made up in air. All right, so it's limited to 7 people. The investment today is only $297. Now, where can you go and get 8 hours of me live? I'm there. This is not recorded. It's your class. I'm working with you and several other people. Now, if you sign up in the next 10 minutes, guess what I'm going to give you? I'm going to give you some bonuses. And this is the key, one of the keys that I teach to the virtual close, and that is bonuses. So you're going to get my public speaking toolkit, which is full of templates, systems, and scripts. Scripts to get speaking engagement, templates for the speaker introduction, templates for your one sheet, everything that you need. It's a toolkit, everything that you need. All my templates, scripts, and systems are in there. That's worth $1,000, and I only give it to people that come to my 4-day speaker training intensive, which is a $4,000 class. $4,000 class. And you're going to get 2 VIP tickets to the $1 Million Virtual Summit. Each one of those tickets is $197. So that's $400 right there. And if you do this in the next 10 minutes, then I'm going to give you another bonus where you're going to save another $100. How crazy is that? And so the total investment for 8 hours of training with me plus 3 days with me is only $197. And here's how you get it. You either text me and tell me you're in, or you go right to this link, and it is case sensitive. So Lisa, if you're still here, go ahead and put the link in for me. Lisa, go ahead and put in the link.
Okay, hold on.
Thank you. Lisa,
Wait a minute.
Lisa,
I'm here. Hold on. I just got to get a photo of it first.
Lisa's always my wingman in my networking group. She's always my pilot and can type in that.
Okay, perfect. I got it.
Great, thank you. All right.
And I'll put it in the chat.
Perfect. So when you go, you're not going to go to a landing page. I don't have this on my website. This is a steal of a deal. And no, I'm not sure if I'm doing this again. I'm doing it for a group of people right now. And then I'm going to be getting into my $1 Million Speaker Summit and promoting that. So I would take advantage. One thing I learned through COVID, never procrastinate. I don't procrastinate anymore. I don't say to my girlfriends, oh, I can't go to lunch today. It'll be tomorrow. No, no more. Now that I found the whole world has changed. All right, so it looks like this. So again, in the next 10 minutes, if you want to go, and Lisa, oh, I didn't make it.
I'm getting it in here. I'm
Okay.
putting everything.
All right, so if you want to go, again, I got out of my presentation mode. If you want to go. So in the next 10 minutes, just jot down this. Oh, there you go. It's a live link in the chat room. Go there in the next 10 minutes. If you think about it tomorrow and want to join, it's going to be $297. I have to stay in integrity with the people that act now. So again, no thinking about it. Just put it in there. Just sign up. If you find out you can't go, remember, all calls are recorded and there will be makeup classes. The classes start this Saturday and the next class is Wednesday the 5th. And the next class is the 15th, and then so on. We'll have makeup classes. You'll get all the details and all the bonuses in the email that I'm going to send you right after. So yes, that's my number. Thank you. That's my number. So again, 10 minutes. So I am going to unshare. You've got everything you need. And I just want to be here. If any of you, I've got to mute everybody. Sorry. Somebody is, okay, somebody is talking and they're not with me. Okay, I'm not going to mute all of you because I want you to be open for questions. So if you have questions about this now Barbara, she signed up. So thank you, Barbara Tamari. She's going to join us. So congratulations for signing up. Lisa Thornton's already taken the class. So Lisa, if you want to share anything about the class, this would be awesome to hear from you.
Okay, I've taken the Create Your Speech in a Weekend course, and let me tell you, the best investment. I mean, it was like a steal, actually. Arvee was there one-on-one with us. I mean, there was never a dull moment. It was 2 days. It was 8 hours. We were engaged and involved the entire time.
But Lisa, did you not come to this training?
This one, no, I didn't.
Oh, well, that's the one I thought you would to. Okay.
Oh, no. Create Your Speech in a Weekend.
Thank you. You need to sign up for this one too then. Awesome. Catherine went to the first class. What did you think of the first class, Catherine?
It was so much information on using Zoom and when to use it and how to use it. It was great.
Good. Thank you. And Eveline, you were there. Did you learn at least 5 new things that you didn't know before?
I did, yeah, because we went through the whole back end of Zoom and I don't spend a lot of time there. So it was really informative and interesting.
Yes, you only have to spend one time there, but the first time. And then everything's set up forever, but most of the time, people just don't know how to set it up, so they leave it. And they don't know why a button should be on or off. So, yeah, so I take you through that in detail. Again, it's a 2.5-hour class. So it's all customized for you. Okay. So, Janine, I'm going to join. Can I do it while on here? Absolutely. Just go to that link. It's a live link. Click on it and put it in now before, I guess we have another 5 minutes left, or text me if you have any trouble, and then that'll at least lock it in at the $197 price. All right, any other questions? Alice, Andy, Brenda, Allison? And Dale's in the class right now too. So Dale's already in the class. Luana, any questions about this or anything else?
Sorry, it was muted. I just signed up.
Yay! All right. Yay. Good job. Good job. All
Okay, I'm sorry. I missed. Did you say if you weren't able to attend one of the days, you can make them up?
Yes, I will have makeup classes, so don't worry.
Okay, thank you.
I will have makeup classes because that happens to everybody. And sometimes the makeup classes are even smaller, of course, than the regular classes. So, but it's the same amount of time, so don't worry about that. Yeah. Okay, anybody else? Alice, how are you doing? Lisa. Go ahead, Alice, and then Lisa.
I
Alice?
just signed up.
Yay! Awesome. Don't be left behind. Lisa.
This is Janine.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm not as sophisticated as you guys, so I'm scared that I'm gonna lose you if I go and try to figure out how to text. Do I just call the number?
Just text me. Text me and say you're in, and then I will. We'll sign you up out after this is over. So
Okay.
So my text number for everyone is 909-645-9147. So just text me, and then I'll have your number, and I'll call you right back. So Alice, did you have something? And then Lisa.
When is this class?
The first one starts this Saturday. The next one's the following Wednesday, and then the next one's the 15th of August. But there are makeup classes available. They're all 10 o'clock until 12:30 Pacific time. So 10 o'clock in the morning till noon. All right?
Yeah. Can you put me in?
Yeah, do you want to go to the link, Alice? Do you want to either click on the link?
I don't have my credit card with me. Can you put me on the text?
Okay, I'll have to call you. What's your number?
604
604
321
321
3320.
3320. Okay, I'll give you a call right afterwards.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Lisa, you had your hand up.
No, I just wanted to brag on you for a minute because I took a different class to create your speech in a weekend, and I just wanted to if anyone is on the fence, I'm telling you, you won't be disappointed, and it is absolutely worth the investment spending time with Arvee. And I mean, there's nothing, you can't compare it to going on YouTube or buying a book, or because you can't ask a book questions, you can't ask YouTube questions. So anybody who thinks I'll just go to YouTube and I'll get it free, or I'll go to the library, sorry, you just won't be able to ask those vehicles questions and have the personal expertise and experience from Arvee. So if you're on the fence, I mean, you have my endorsement to just jump over to Arvee's team and take her training. It's phenomenal. And it is an investment, not a cost. So.
Thank you. Yes. And all that YouTube training, it's just pieces of it, like virtual background, right? But nobody goes through the back end of it and tells you why you need something turned on or off, right, or what it does. And again, I've been using this since 2015, so I've been around it for a while. All right, Andy, did you have any questions? Mr. Young Buck, Mr. Young Senator.
Not at this time.
What?
Good stuff. Thank you. Not at this time. No questions right now.
Okay, perfect. And then we see Paul just came in. Did you just come in, Paul, or have you been hanging out for a little bit? You're on mute.
I just got here. Sorry, I had another event, but I came just to support you because I know how great your speaker training really is.
Oh, you're a sweetheart. Thank you. Paul's been to the $1 Million Speaker Summit. I think the very first one I did 5 years ago.
It was amazing. Wow, that's so many people learned so much. It was fantastic.
Good to see.
If you have a chance, do it.
Good. Paul is stranded. He's from San Diego here in California, but he's stranded in Canada with the COVID. So we just all want to keep him in your prayers that he'll be able to get home sometime soon.
My fingers crossed. Soon.
Exactly. Although I know someone who's stranded in Greece, Athens, Greece, and
wow.
So bad there that they cannot leave their home without texting somebody, authority, before they can leave their home. So
small blessings.
Yeah. All right. So any other questions before we all say goodbye this evening? All right. Good. Was this worth your time today?
Yes, thank you.
Thank
Yay,
you.
good. Awesome. All right. So somebody's calling me. I'll let them just leave a message. Okay, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. And I'll see you
Thank
all
you.
again on another webinar or at the $1 Million Speaker Summit or on another class. Until then, mwah, get out there and speak, and always speak with passion. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.